Tonight, Earl is here to join and share his personal story of resilience, advocacy, and hope. Please join me in welcoming Earl Dotson.
Man, if you could see the look on some of my teammates' face. For the longest time, I hid the issues I was going through when I got to Green Bay. I dealt with depression and anxiety. And a lot of guys that know me from those times, they'll tell you how quiet I was. I had a feeling I was broken for the longest. Because coming up in the household I came up, in the period I came up, mental health is something we don't talk about. But with the help of a lot of these guys in this room today, which I don't think they understand, y'all saved my life. This family here that I inherited when I got to Green Bay was something I would never change. I would never trade in. While I was playing here in '96, I fought for custody of my son to give him a better life. And sorry, I'm gonna try not to tear up on this one, okay? So for the longest, it was just me and him. After I left the NFL and had to face this world without my teammates, it was challenging. I went through a year to where I lost my father, shortly after my mother, a close friend to a motorcycle accident, and then another friend that used to live with me. I felt my world was spiraling down. I turned to drinking to cope with everything I was going through. You know, it's a period of time that I wasn't coming back to Green Bay. I actually blew up. I was about 350 pounds. And I remember one morning looking in the mirror, and I'd have recognized the person that was looking back at me. That day, I decided to change my life. I stopped drinking. I have one every now and then. But I stopped drinking, started going to the gym 2 times a day. I dropped over 100-some pounds. I started feeling better about myself. You know, life was good. I was moving around. I started coming back to Green Bay. I started coming back amongst my family. Well, 2 years ago, Saturday morning, I get a knock on the door. I'm in a good mood. You know, I'm thinking it's my best friend come and visit. But as I look through the glass doors, I see 2 cops. You know, in my mind, I'm going through every ticket I ever had, you know. But to be honest with you, I wish they were there for me. The news I got that day changed my life forever. They was there to inform me of the loss of my son. I just don't understand it. You know, that Friday morning, before he went to work, he came into the room like he did every day before he went to work. You know, my son was a tattoo artist, and I was so proud of him because when he set his mind to wanting to be that, he did everything he could do to make himself one of the best in our area. So he asked me, he's like, "Hey, Pops, you need anything before I leave?" I was like, "Nah, kid, I'm good." Went to work, came home. We sat in the living room for a little while and was laughing about something Kanye West said. You know, he's always good for a laugh, you know. He went upstairs. My son was a creature of habit. He went upstairs, lift weights, worked on a tattoo he had to do the next day. I went to sleep about 2:30 in the morning. So when I wake up, here go these cops. And this is what I remember. Mr. Dotson, is Jared Dotson your son? I was like, yes. We're sorry to inform you that your son has passed. See, I don't know if he don't want me to find him, but he left the house that night after I went to sleep. I live in a neighborhood with multiple lakes. And he went to one of the lakes and he took his life. And when I say your life ends, it ends. I don't remember much after that, but I knew it would never be the same. I asked myself, what did I miss? Was there any clues? You know, I used to be one of those people that said when a kid would commit suicide, how did the parents not see that? I didn't see it. Who lifts weights before they decide to do something like that? Who worked on a tattoo he got to do the next morning if he had planned to do that? My son did a permanent action to a temporary solution. I wish he would have talked to me. I wish I would have stayed up a little longer to talk to him. That maybe the extra 30 minutes, the extra hour would have changed whatever was on his mind. I met a family about a year before that up in Vegas at the Meekum bike auction. Got to know them. Come to find out we had a lot of the same friends. Ran into them at Sturgis at the bike rally. And at that time, they still had their son. Shortly before my son, they lost their son. And I'm not quite sure where they at over there, but Heather and Jess Slaughter, can you stand up? Where you at? There we go. Little did I know that couple right there would play a crucial part in my life. The day after having my son, Miss Slaughter gave me a phone call. And she liked to call me brother. And she says in the cutest way, she said, brother, I'm sorry to hear what happened. See, I'm gonna walk you through how you're gonna feel. You're gonna hate the world. You're gonna hate everybody in it. It's gonna be hard to smile. It's gonna be hard to laugh. And that was true. I'll be among friends, and they would laugh and joke at something, and I couldn't find anything funny. I found myself at night, sitting at the edge of my bed, just staring at the window, just numb. That Friday night just going through my head all night because I had to miss something. There had to be something there. One day, I just couldn't do it no more. You know, I got a younger son, Austin Dotson. As a matter of fact, he just made me a grandfather of a little boy named Jace. I know, huh? Man, I tell you what. I remember seeing my son when he brought a little boy to the nursery. And they put him in my son's hand, and I saw how he looked down at Jace. And I said, yeah, that kid got some. You know, when we look at our kids for the first time, we realize that there's a different kind of love out there. one we never felt before. And that's what I felt about my son. And I was so glad I was here to see my youngest son feel the same way. Pretty much all the dark moments that ran through my life, and trust me, it was some dark moments, I knew I had to be here. I knew I had to be strong, not just for myself, but for my son. I never wanted to believe that when times get tough, you give up. And I'm not saying that my son gave up. I'm saying whatever demons he was facing, he's at peace now. And he gave me a purpose. And that's the only thing keeping me going, this purpose. And this purpose is to help anyone and not go through what I went through. To not let them feel like they're alone. When I was dealing with depression, I felt that way. And I'm pretty sure my son felt that way. I saw it sometimes. But not being able to fix myself, I wasn't able to help him. So our mission right now with our foundation is to give people the tools and give people the family and let them know that you are not alone. And it's all right to say, I'm not okay. I'm so proud of my youngest son. I'm so proud of the man he became. And I wish he would here today, because I actually had to talk him in to seeking therapy. Because when you lose someone, it's not just the father, it's not just the mother, it affects everyone. And I guess if I had to say give any advice, because I don't have the answer. I wish I did have the answer to fix this. Talk to someone. Seek out therapy. It's not a sign of weakness. It's probably one of the strongest, most important thing you could do in life. Because guess what? Our kids look up to us. It's all right to have emotions. I probably hugged my dad about 3 times in my whole life. And I wish I had 3 more times to hug my son. Thank y'all for having me.